Preseason has finally started for RGVFC. Two new players have been announced, and we've got an update regarding the broadcasting rights for the 2023 USL Championship season. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever time you're watching this video. Welcome to another RGVFC News and Rumors video. My name is Edson Ochoa, and I am one of the co-hosts of the Down in the Valley podcast. Today, I wanted to bring y'all up to date with the latest news from not only the Toros, but also from the USL in general. But before I begin, I wanted to show you just a couple of clips from a project that I'm currently working on in my spare time, which is a USL Championship mod for FIFA 23 PC. I hope to finish at least the Copa Tejas teams by the beginning of the USL Championship season, but clearly, this is probably going to be 100% completed before Konami releases the Master League, I guess in 2050 at this rate. First, let's catch up with the latest signings from RGVFC. The Toros have recently announced, as I mentioned right now, two more signings for the 2023 season. On February 3rd, Carlos Merancio was announced as the backup keeper for Taylor Davila. Merancio began his career in Mexico competing in the academy ranks of Monarcas Morelia. F in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. With Monarcas Morelia Premier, he did appear in one official match back in 2018. In 2019, Merancio made the jump to USL League One, joining FC Tucson, where he recorded 3 clean sheets in 22 appearances across 2 seasons at the club. In 2021, he joined USL Championship side Hartford Athletic, where he appeared with only 1 match before returning to Tucson ahead of the 2022 season. In that second stint, the Mexican keeper appeared with 29 matches and 2 Lamar Hunt US Open Cup matches with FC Tucson. Overall, he tallied 5 clean sheets prior to the conclusion of the 2022 season. With this announcement, I feel like it is all but confirmed that Colin Miller will not return to the Toros for 2023. His future is currently still unclear as of this recording, but I do wish him all the best in his future and thank him for the times that he's had to stand up, especially in these 2 playoff stints the Toros have had because of an injury to Taylor Davila. So wish him the best in the future, and I hope it goes well for him. Now, the other announcement that was made by the Toros was the acquisition of midfielder Taylor Davila. Davila joins the Toros from former USL Championship side LA Galaxy 2. He appeared in 61 matches overall between the 21-22 campaigns for Los Dos. During the past season, the 6'1" midfielder appeared in 32 matches and notched 3 goals, 2 assists, and 31 chances created. Defensively, he made 23 interceptions and posted a passing accuracy of 88.9% while averaging 66.1 passes per 90 minutes. Now, it is unclear if Taylor Davila is going to be a backup for Gringo Torres or Juan David Cabezas, but clearly Taylor Davila shows potential in the eyes of Wilmer Cabrera. As we talked about in the last video, it seems like RGVFC is looking to find those diamonds in the rough from these either USL League One sides or former MLS 2 teams to try to break the mold for them and have them stand out, just like he has done with Wahab Akwe, just to name a few others that I did mention in the previous video. If you haven't watched that video, please be sure to check that video out first, and I will be putting it up in the card right over here. Oh, right over here, right there. It'll be right there. Preseason has started for the Toros. I think it was last week. The players started to come in, started to have some practices with the team, and they did have their first preseason match this past Saturday, February 18th, against UTRGV Vaqueros. Unfortunately, as is the case with RGVFC historically, not a lot of information was posted the day of the match regarding lineups, minute-by-minute updates, or even goal scorers, for that matter. It was not until a couple of minutes ago, as of this recording, 6 p.m. Central Time to be exact, when RGVFC's social media posted the result online in all of their accounts. In it, it was informed that the Toros earned a 5-1 victory over the Vaqueros, and the goal scorers were Christian Pinzon with a hat trick, Taylor Davila, and Ricky Reese. This leads to another question that has been brought up by not only Toros fans, but other fan bases in this preseason within the USL, including El Paso Locomotive's fan base. Where is the ideal balance between the privacy that the coaches would like as they work with their squads in this preseason to avoid, let's say, the scouting from other teams regarding any tactics that they're working on, potential lineups, etc., etc.? How do you balance that with a desire from the fan base to know about how the team is evolving this preseason? I understand the point of view, I guess, from the coaches, where they would like, the ability to kind of, like I said, work with the teams, try to figure out the combinations, certain scenarios where, okay, we're down in this kind of scenario, I will be using this player, or I will be using this formation. But I think the fan base, I think it's been pretty much obvious that outside of the more diehard soccer fanatics, the more analytical types, they don't really care about formations. They don't really care, about tactics or anything. They want to know about how they did. Did they win? Who scored the goals? They want to be hyped as the opening match of the USL season comes closer and closer. They want to know how they're doing, how are they improving, who they played against. The fan base so far has already been kind of pushed, or not pushed away. That sounds a little bit harsh, but they've kind of been on the outside looking in this preseason. Really, there's much like last season. There's not going to be, as of right now, a preseason match where the fans and the media are going to be allowed to watch. Like I said, it took them 2 days for RGVFC to post information about this past match. Now, I understand, the availability of, I don't know, let's say the intern or whoever's in charge of the team's social media. Maybe not, there might not be available, during the weekends to provide those updates. But 2 days after, I don't know. It's like I'm not expecting minute by minute. I think it'd be great, to get some minute by minute updates about the matches. Like I said, I understand the difficulty, but at least keep us kind of informed and not have us wait 2-3 days after to know what happened in the match. I feel like there has to be a compromise here and there. I know El Paso Locomotive fans were kind of complaining that the Locos Twitter staff said they were gonna have minute by minute updates. Didn't happen. I think they went from the like, oh, the game has started to, oh yeah, this is the final score. I think that needs to be improved in that aspect. I mean, I've mentioned how a lot of things have been improving in the last couple of months, but this definitely is one of those things that I feel needs to be improved to kind of keep. I mean, Jacob and I have been talking about keeping the momentum going leading up to the season opener. And really this whole thing is kind of taking away from that. Lastly, I do want to talk about a topic I brought up in the previous news and rumors video regarding the status of a potential renewal between ESPN and the USL. As many of you will recall, the USL made no mention of broadcast information in their announcement of the 2023 season schedule, which, coupled with the fact that the current agreement, or the previous agreement now, ended after the 2022 season, it led to speculation from fans that the USL Championship matches would potentially move to another streaming service. And then it didn't help that a couple of days ago, the USL Championship mentioned that they were going to merge their YouTube channels into one. So the USL Championship YouTube channel was going to become into one that would cover Championship, League One, League Two, and I'm going to guess the women's leagues as well once they start. So that led into more speculation saying, oh, I guess now the matches are going to be back to being broadcasted in YouTube like they currently are for international viewers. At that time also, there was a mention on Twitter regarding a potential renewal of the agreement between ESPN and USL, but nothing concrete was ever announced, neither by the league, ESPN, nor from a more accredited journalist per se. Fast forward to February 14th, where Jeff Ruder of The Athletic posted a tweet announcing that, according to his sources, ESPN will continue to broadcast USL Championship and USL League One matches on the ESPN Plus platform, plus a number of broadcasts that would be on national television for one more year. This same information was confirmed a day later by Chris Moore of World Soccer Talk, and I will be leaving a link to the sources in the description if you guys want to read it. However, neither the USL nor ESPN have confirmed these statements so far, so details like the worth of the agreement are still open to speculation. Now, I will make a disclaimer here saying that everything I say from here on out is a personal opinion of mine and should not be taken as fact. I believe that this agreement is more than likely a stopgap. I guess you can say that it was one of those things where the USL got desperate, that they weren't going to be left with their hands, they're going to be left empty-handed. So they decided to renew 1 year with ESPN Plus. One of the reasons I believe this is the case is because last June, Sports Business Journal cited USL Chief Commercial Officer Cord Jeske, forgive me if I butcher that name, who stated that there were talks with 3 or 4 media companies for the rights. However, in that same article, Jeske acknowledged that they went into the market expecting to bundle all 3 professional leagues, which include USL Championship, USL League One, and the USL Super League, which is going to be a second division pro women's soccer league underneath the NWSL. But the league is now considering other options. With this recent report by Jeff Ruder, it really does seem like ESPN refused to offer a multi-year agreement for USL Championship and USL League One, which led to another compromise of a single year agreement that did not include the Super League. However, on the bright side, this agreement gives the league 1 more year to generate enough audience numbers to help not only attract a juicier offer from ESPN, but also offers from other media companies that could give the league and its teams better revenues, especially when you know that you've got the FIFA World Cup 2026 closing in quickly. But at this point, like I said, the USL has neither confirmed nor denied that report by Jeff Reuter. Like I mentioned, this is still kind of speculating a bit. We don't know the actual details of this potential agreement. We kind of have to hope that the league makes an official announcement sooner rather than later. You have to remember that the league, the USL Championship, does start in less than a month. So time is kind of running out, but don't go and cancel your subscription to ESPN Plus just yet, at least for one more year, if you are interested in watching USL Championship matches. But guys, that is going to be it for tonight. Thank you so much for all of your support you've given down in the Valley. We appreciate, everybody who tuned in our last live stream. We promise that we will be back as we got more topics to talk about as preseason ends. You've got Media Day coming up. So we're going to have a lot more topics so we can finally come back to have another live stream podcast. But in the meantime, I hope that these little capsules of news and rumors can help keep the fan base involved. Well, thank you so much for everything, and we'll see each other on the next video. Bye.